Good evening, members of the public, council officers, and people that are watching online.
Good evening, Chairman.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's council meeting. I'm Councillor Chris Arbron, and I'm the Chairman of Craven District Council, and I will be chairing this evening's meeting for you. Before we go on to the meeting proper, may I just ask everybody to join with me for a minute's silence in recognition of our colleague that sadly passed away this week on Sunday, Councillor Welsh. Guy, would you start the clock for us, please?
Yeah, thank you. We started. Thank you, members and officers.
Thank you very much indeed, Guy. I think what we'll do now, if possible, I'm sure such a popular member, such as Richard was, some members will be wanting to make their own tributes. I'll allow 5 minutes for the paying of tributes for former Councillor Richard Welsh.
I can come in first, Chair.
Yes, Councillor Foster, of course you can.
Yeah, I mean, such sad news and sort of shocking in a way. We knew Richard was poorly, but maybe not as poorly as he was. You know, we're going to miss him on the council. He was a unique character, was Richard. He said what he thought, and then thought about the consequences after he'd said it. But he meant what he said. It was never frightened of saying it. And for that, it was always about his residents as well. It was always about the people of Craven. It was about how he thought things should be. So, really going to miss him. Going to miss his advice. He was here when I joined the council. So, yeah, no, big loss to Craven District and the National Parks and North Yorkshire County Council. So, and certainly for his residents up there. And thoughts really with his family at the moment as they go through this difficult time. So.
Thank you very much, Councillor Foster. Thank you very much. Would any other members wish to add anything to what's already been said? Councillor Staveley, please.
Thank you, Chair. My apologies for being a little bit late there. Yes, Councillor Welsh. He was a friend, a colleague and a mentor early on when I first started on the council. So if any of you don't like what you see right now, you've only got him to blame. He taught me everything I know. Yeah, he was, I've just got the tail end of Councillor Foster's kind words, and I'm quite sure they're replicated by many others. He was definitely a man of the people. His people, to be specific, a local man through and through, and represented his people to the best of his ability. And he'll leave a very big gap in our local community here. So obviously, saddest of times for his family. We can only hope that they pull through this okay, because obviously his wife Jane's still not in the best of health. So yes, I just echo what's already been said. A good man, will be sorely missed. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Staveley. I've got now Councillor Andy Soloway, followed by Councillor Simon Myers. Councillor Soloway, please.
Thank you, Chairman. I mean, like Richard said, Richard Welsh welcomed me onto the council back in 2002, and he'd served on this council since 1998, and you know, had continuous service as well. And I always got on very well with Richard. I didn't always agree with what he said, but I don't think he would have had it any other way, to be honest. Richard was very much known for being on the planning side of the council, but I also want to pay tribute to his input on licensing committee, because he was always on licensing committee. And I think that his views probably formed into some of our taxi licensing policies. He leaves a legacy. He leaves a legacy, but he leaves a really big gap on this council. A very independent-minded councillor. And all I can say is rest in peace, Richard, and my thoughts are with your family. It's been an honour to serve with you.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Soloway. Thank you. Councillor Myers, please. Councillor Myers.
Thank you, Chairman. I won't pull matters out much further. Safe to say that everybody who is a councillor and has been a councillor knows what hard work and dedication is required to do your job properly. And 22 years of doing it in 3 different arenas, and doing it fearlessly. Because I recall perhaps 5-10 years ago, there was a real period where senior councillors, particularly the chairman of planning, were getting a lot of personal abuse and even threatening abuse. And Richard and others, some of whom are present here this evening, took that on the chin. They never wavered in their determination to do their job right. And they never caved. And I think it's a great credit to them. And they didn't always agree with Richard. We used to dissect matters in the Co-op in Gargrave on the way home after meetings, and we still wouldn't agree, but it was done affably. And I knew that he always had the interests of the residents. Rest in peace, Richard.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Myers. Thank you. Right, I think it's time to move on. Councillor Mulligan. Councillor Mulligan.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, just briefly, I got on very well with Richard. I always thought of him as a straight shooter, which I have a great deal of respect for. He was a plain speaker. He was forthright. You knew where you stood with Richard. There was never any dissembling, any conniving. He spoke. And as everyone else has been saying, I think he was a person who was sort of the people and for the people he represented. And I don't think any councillor could do better. So I think Richard will be sorely missed. I think, again, send all of our sympathy to his family, send our prayers and thoughts. And his will be a big pair of shoes to fill. Thank you.
Very much indeed, Councillor Mulligan. Thank you very much. Right, in that case, there's nobody further indicated wanting to speak, so we'll move on. Before I do so, can I just point out that in relation to item number 5 on this evening's agenda, item number 5 is an extract from a closed, not for public consumption minute from the last full council meeting. So we're going to be doing that in private session when it comes to item number 5. In the meantime, can I ask the Democratic Services Manager to do a roll call of all members here present? Thank you very much, Guy.
Yep, thank you very much, Councillor Harbron. So I think probably at this point, if I could just read out the apologies for absence, it might make it a little bit easier. So we received apologies for absence from Councillors Barrett, Councillor Madeley, Councillor Handley, and Councillor Pringle. Councillor Pringle did ask if I could point out that the reason he submitted his apologies for absence is because he did not feel that he was in a position to make a judgment on the recommendations for confirmation, as he wasn't provided with sufficient information. He wished that to be placed on record. So I did say that I would read that out at the meeting. So in terms of roll call, if I could start with Councillor Brockbank. Okay, I'll come back to Councillor Brockbank. Councillor Brown?
I'm here.
Councillor Foster?
Yeah.
Councillor Harbron?
Present.
Councillor Heseltine?
Present.
Councillor Hull?
Present.
Councillor Ireton?
Present.
Councillor Jacquin.
Present.
Councillor Liz.
Present.
Councillor Mercer.
Present.
Councillor Metcalfe.
Present.
Councillor Morby.
Present.
Councillor Morrell.
Present.
Councillor Mulligan.
Present.
Councillor Myers. Councillor Noland.
Present.
Councillor Place.
Present.
Councillor Rose.
Present.
Councillor Shuttleworth.
Present.
Councillor Soloway. Councillor Staveley.
Present.
Councillor Sutcliffe.
Present.
Councillor Wheeler.
Present.
And Councillor Whitaker.
Present.
And I've not seen that Councillor Brockbanks joined the meeting, so we'll just keep an eye on that and report that to the meeting later.
She was having problems with BT operates for digging outside the house, so she wasn't sure whether she'd be able to get on or not.
You're quite right, yeah. Thank you, Councillor Foster. Make a note. Right, that's it. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much, Guy. Thank you. Right, okay. In that case, item number 1, apologies for absence. Have we got any? That one, you've read them out, haven't you? Okay.
Yeah,
indeed. Okay, item number 2, minutes of the last full council meeting. I will move the minutes. Do we have a seconder?
Please to second that for you, Chairman.
Thank you very much indeed, Alan. Thank you very much. Unless we've got any objections from members, I assume that everybody would be happy with those minutes. Okay, excellent stuff. Thank you. So, Guy, we can accept them as a correct record. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Right. Item number 3, as you always, is public participation. Would we have any public members wanting to contribute, Guy?
No, I'm not aware of any members of the public wishing to attend this evening's meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, in that case, item number 4, members, declarations of interest. Do we have any? No, there's a lot of shaking of heads going on. There's nobody indicating to speak. In that case, we'll move on again. We're in danger of getting this meeting over and done with, aren't we? Item number 5 then, recommendations for confirmation. As I mentioned before, we'll be taking this in private session. Have a look. Do we have any proposer?